In a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of a bustling city, a young couple, Morenike and Chidozie, were happy to find a charming apartment to rent. The two had just gotten married and were eager to start their new life together. The apartment was affordable, with vintage charm and a cozy atmosphere that made it feel like home. However, they had rented it without much inquiry. They were drawn by its beautiful appearance and the landlord's warm approach. As they settled in, the couple began to notice odd occurrences. At first, it was small things like flickering of lights and the occasional chill that swept through the rooms, even on warm days. They brushed it off with a thought, maybe it's an old building that was worked on. But as the days turned into weeks, the strange happenings continued. So one night, while Morenike was preparing dinner, she heard a soft whispering coming from the living room. She paused, straining to listen, but the sound faded away. "Babe, did you hear that?" she called out, but his attention was in the movie he was watching. She went back to the kitchen and continued cooking, but the feeling of being watched by someone continued. The following week, Chidozie returned home late from work. As he entered the apartment, he felt a strange heaviness in the air. The lights flickered continuously, and he heard a faint sound coming from the walls. He called out to Morenike, but she was already asleep. He decided to investigate, but as he approached the source of the noise, it stopped. He felt a chill run down his spine, but he convinced himself that it was just his imagination. The couple unease grew, and they began to share their experiences. Morenike recounted the whispers, while Chidozie spoke of his own. They decided to do some research about the apartment, hoping to find some answers. To their shock, they discovered that the previous tenants had moved out just 2 months after moving in due to strange noises and unsettling occurrences that had driven them away. Determined to uncover the truth, Morenike and Chidozie visited the landlord, who seemed reluctant when they asked about the apartment's history. "Old buildings have their stories and imaginations," the landlord said with a dismissive wave. "Nothing to worry about." But the couple was not convinced. They returned home, their minds racing with questions. That night, as they lay in bed, the atmosphere felt charged with tension. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the kitchen, followed by the sound of shattering glasses. They jumped out of bed, hearts pounding, and rushed to the kitchen. To their horror, they found the dishes had been thrown from the shelves, scattered across the floor. The air was thick with an unexplainable dread. "Maybe we should leave," Morenike suggested, her voice trembling. But Chidozie, feeling a mix of fear and determination, insisted they stay and confront whatever that was haunting them. "We can't let it drive us away," he said. "We need to understand what's going on." The next day, they set up a camera in the living room, hoping to capture any strange occurrences. That night, they watched the footage together, their hearts racing. At first, it was just the normal sounds of the apartment. But then, around midnight, they saw it, a shadow figure moving across the screen, followed by the sound of soft laughter. They both gasped, their blood running cold. Unable to sleep, they decided to investigate the apartment further. They searched different places, including the basement, hoping to find clues about the previous tenants. While searching, they discovered an old trunk filled with dusty belongings, including a diary. As Morenike flipped through the pages, she found entries detailing the previous tenant's experiences, strange noises, feelings of being watched, and a growing sense of dread. The last entry sent chills down her spine. "I can't take it anymore. It feels like something is here with us and it wants us gone." That night, the couple was determined to confront the entity. They set up candles and sat together in the living room, calling out to whatever that was haunting them. "We are not afraid of you," Chidozie shouted, his voice echoing in the stillness. "Show yourself," he said. Suddenly, the temperature dropped and the lights flickered violently. The candles flickered and then extinguished. Everywhere became dark. They felt a figure walking around the room, and the couple felt a rush of cold air swept past them. They held each other tightly, fear gripping their hearts. In the darkness, they heard the whispering again, clearer this time. "Leave, leave, leave." The voice was chilling, filled with malice. They were panicking and started searching for their phones to illuminate the room. As the lights flickered on, they saw the figure standing in the corner, its eyes glowing. Morenike screamed and Chidozie immediately pulled her close, backing away from the figure. "What do you want?" he shouted, his voice trembling. The figure remained silent, but the air grew heavier, suffocating them with an overwhelming sense of dread. Just as it has appeared, the figure disappeared immediately. The next morning, shaken by the events of the night, Morenike suggested they move out of the house. "I can't take this anymore, Chidozie. We need to leave," she urged, her voice filled with fear. But Chidozie, feeling a mix of fear and determination, countered, "What if we figure out a way to take care of the situation? What if the figure is not here to harm us?" Morenike shouted, "I don't care. We need to leave here as soon as possible." Chidozie assured her that they would leave, but they should try if they can take care of the situation first. They decided to confront the entity again, believing it might be hot and restless, simply needing a closure. They approached the landlord once more, hoping to get information about the apartment's history. However, he feigned ignorance, ignoring their questions. Frustrated but undeterred, Morenike and Chidozie returned home, determined to uncover the truth. They spent hours researching the history of the building, digging through old newspapers and public record. They discovered that the apartment had a dark past. Rumors of a tragic event that had occurred decades ago, involving a woman who had lived there and met a mysterious end. That night, they set up their camera again, hoping to capture more evidence. As they reviewed the footage, they noticed something strange. The shadow figure appeared to be reaching out, almost as if it were trying to communicate. "It's not angry," Chidozie said, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's trying to tell us something." So with renewed determination, they decided to invite the spirit to share its story. They light candles and sat in the circle, calling out to the entity. "We want to help you," Morenike said, her voice steady. "Please show us what you need." The atmosphere shifted and the temperature dropped once more. The lights flickered and the figure materialized before them, its form more defined this time. "Help me," it whispered, the sorrow in its voice palpable. "I am trapped. I need to be free." Morenike and Chidozie exchanged glances, realizing that the figure was not a wicked spirit, but a lost soul seeking closure. They asked what it needed, and the figure pointed towards the area where they had found the diary. Find the truth. Set me free. Determined to help, they rushed to the place, searching for anything that could provide answers. Among the dusty belongings, they found a locket containing a picture of a woman and a letter addressed to her from a loved one. The letter revealed a betrayal that had led to her tragic end, a love lost and a life cut short. With the newfound knowledge, they returned to the living room, holding the locket and letter. "We know your story now," Chidozie said, his voice filled with compassion. "You were wronged, and we want to help you find peace." As they spoke, the figure began to shimmer, its form becoming more ethereal. "Thank you," it whispered, the sorrow in its voice lifting. "I can finally rest." In that moment, the oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the couple felt a wave of warmth wash over them. The figure smiled, a look of gratitude on its face. Before dissolving into a soft light that filled the room, the air felt lighter, and a sense of dread that had haunted them for weeks vanished. From that day forward, the apartment transformed into a sanctuary of peace. Morenike and Chidozie honored the spirit by keeping the locket and letter in a place of remembrance. Sharing her story with others, they realized that love and understanding could conquer even the darkest of fears, and the haunted house had become a place of healing, a testament to the power of compassion and the enduring bond between the living and the departed. Now we have come to the end of another beautiful story. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.